Hello everyone, welcome back to our manual testing interview questions and answer series. So this is the part 7 video. As a part of this video, we are going to learn below questions. So let's start with the first question of this video. First question is, which reports we are preparing while performing manual testing? First is test plan. Define the scope, objective, approach, resources and schedule of testing. Second, test case report. List all test cases executed, their status, pass or fail, and expected versus actual result. Third, test execution report. Summarize the test execution progress, including the number of test cases executed, pass, fail, and block. Fourth, defect report or a bug report. Documents defect found during testing, including defect like details like defect ID, severity, priority, steps to reproduce, and current status. Fifth is defect summary report. Consolidates all defects found during testing, categorized by severity, priority, and status. Next, next is test summary report, a high-level summary of testing activities, including test coverage, major defect, risk, and overall test effectiveness. Seventh, daily weekly status report. Provide a periodic update on testing progress, issues, phase, and upcoming tasks. 8. Traceability matrix. Also we call it as requirement traceability matrix. It maps test cases to requirements to ensure full coverage. Ninth is test closure report, a final document summarizing the overall testing efforts, defect analysis, and test execution result before project closure. So these all documents we are preparing while performing manual testing. So let's move for the another question. Next question is, what is test plan and its importance? A test plan is a formal document that outlines the strategy, scope, objectives, resources, schedule and approach for testing a software application. It serves as a roadmap for testing progress and ensure that testing is carried out systematically. Let's see the template of the test plan. It contains multiple columns. First column is test plan ID, second project name, then version, created by, review by, approved by, test start date and test end date, scope. In the scope we are mentioning what will be tested, out of scope what will not be tested, objective, purpose of testing, approach, manual, automation, testing or types, environments, hardware, software or network, deliverables, test cases, bug reports, summary reports, etc. Schedule, key milestone or timeline, entry criteria, conditions before testing start, exit criteria, condition to stop testing, roles and responsibilities, who does that, risk and mitigation, potential risk and solutions. Defect tracking tool, Jira, Bugzilla, which we are using, that we are mentioning here. Approval and sign off. Final approval details we are mentioning here. So for each test plan, we are mentioning details in the Excel document. So this is the template for it. Next, let's understand test plan importance. First, ensure a structured approach to testing. Second, helps in identifying risk and dependencies early. Third, improves resource allocation and time management. Fifth, provide clear communication between teams. Sixth, act as a reference document throughout the project. So this is about the test plan. Let's move for the another question. Next question is, what is a test case report and its importance? A test case report is a document that records the execution status, results and finding of test cases. It's help track testing process and identify defect in the application. Let's see the template of the test cases document. Test case ID, here test case ID is mentioned, test case name, title test we are mentioning here, module name mentioning, tested by, tester name we are mentioning, test execution date, test steps, whatever test steps required to execute that test case, that all we are mentioning here, executed result, expected result that we are mentioning here, actual result we are mentioning, status pass or fail as compare with the expected and actual, accordingly we are mentioning the status pass or fail. Defect ID, if we found any mismatch between expected result and actual result, then defect ID we are mentioning here. Remark and comments, additional notes. So this is the template for the test case. Next, let's see the test case report importance. First is provide clear and execution result. Second, helps in tracking defects and fixing issues. Third, ensures proper test coverage. Fourth, aids in decision making for release readiness. So this is all about test case report. Let's move for the another question. Next question is, what is test execution report and its importance? A test execution report summarizes the result of executed test cases, highlighting the overall testing status, defects, and test coverage. It helps stakeholders track testing progress and make informed decisions. Let's see the test execution report template. Execution ID, test case ID, test case name we are mentioning, module name, then tested by tester name, test execution date, status pass or fail, defect ID if any, remarks or comments. This is the template. Let's understand the test execution report importance. First is track testing progress and overall quality. Second, helps identify failed test cases and defects. Third, provide transparency to stakeholder. Fourth, supports release decision based on test coverage. So this is all about test execution report and its importance. Let's move for the another question. Next question is, what is a defect report or a bug report and why it is important? A defect report or a bug report documents detail about issues found during testing. It helps developer to understand, reproduce and fix defect effectively. Defect report templates. So first is defect ID column, then module name, test case ID, reported by, reported date, defect description, steps to reproduce, expected result, actual result, severity. Severity we are mentioning critical, major or minor. Then priority we are mentioning high, medium or low. Status, new, open, fix or close. Assign to, here developer name should be present. Resolution or comments. So additional notes we are mentioning here. So this is the defect template. Next is why defect report is important. First is helps track and manage defect effectively. Second, provides clear reproduction step for developers. Third, prioritize critical issues for quick resolution. Fourth, ensure software quality before release. So this is all about defect report or a bug report and its importance. Let's move for the another question. Next question is, what is the defect summary report and its importance? A defect summary report provides an overview of all reported defects, including their status, severity, and resolution. It helps stakeholders track the overall defect trends and software quality. Defect summary report template: total defect, total count; open defects, open count; close defects, close count; critical defect, critical count; major defects, major count; minor defects, minor count; high priority defects, so high count; medium priority, medium count; low priority, low count; resolve defects, resolve count; and pending defects, pending count. So in these documents we are mentioning the count for the all the different statuses of the defect. So why this defect summary document is important? First, gives a high level view of defect trends. Second, helps in analyzing defect severity and impact. Third, support decision making for release readiness. Fourth, provide status tracking of defect resolution. So this is all about defect summary report. So let's move for the another question. Next question is, what is test summary report and its importance? A test summary report provides a high level overview of the testing phase, including executed test cases, pass or fail rates, defects found, and overall test results. It helps stakeholders assess software quality and readiness for release. Let's see the test summary report template. Total test cases, total count, executed test cases, executed count, past test cases, pass count, failed test cases, fail count, block test cases, block count, not executed test cases, not executed count, total defects, total defect count, critical defects, its count, major defect, its count, minor defects, its count, test completion percentage, completion percentage we are mentioning, defect fixed rate percentage here we mention, remarks or comments, additional notes we are mentioning in this column. So this is the template for the test summary report. Let's understand why test summary report is important. First, provide a quick snapshot of testing progress. Second, helps assess software stability and quality. Third, identifies area needing improvement before release. Fourth, aids in release decision making. So this is all about test summary report. Let's move for the another question. Next question is, what is daily or weekly status report and its importance? A daily or weekly status report provides an update on a testing progress, including completion task, pending task, defects, and blockers. It helps stakeholder track progress and make informed decision. Let's see the template of the daily or weekly status report. Date, module name, total test cases, executed test cases, pass test cases, failed test cases, block test cases, defect log, critical defects, major defects, minor defects, pending test cases, remarks and comments. So we are mentioning the each column here and filling the details. Let's understand daily or weekly status report, why it is important. First is tracks testing progress and battle lengths. Second, ensure better test coverage, monitoring. Third is helps in early defect identification and resolution. Fourth is supports management and stakeholder decision making. So this is all about daily or weekly status report and its importance. Let's move for the another question. Next question is, what is traceability matrix? Also we call it as the requirement traceability matrix and its importance. A requirement traceability matrix, that is RTM, is a document that maps requirements to their corresponding test cases to ensure complete test coverage. It helps track whether all the requirements have been tested. Let's see the template of requirement traceability matrix. First column is requirement ID, requirement description, module name, test case ID, test case description, test execution status, pass, fail, block, defect ID if any, remarks or comments. Now let's see the why requirement traceability matrix is important. First is ensure 100% test coverage for all requirements. Second, helps identifying missing or untested requirements. Third, improve requirement validation and defect tracking. Fourth, support regression testing and impact analysis. So this is all about the requirement traceability matrix or RTM. Let's move for the another question. Next question is, what is test closure report and its importance? A test closure report is a formal document that summarizes the entries entire testing phase, including testing activities, results, defect trends, and overall software quality. It marks the completion of testing cycle. Test closure report template. Project name, testing phase, SIT, UAT or any another, test case ID, total count, executed test cases, executed count, pass count, fail count, block count, defect log, total count, defect count, critical defects, critical count, major defect, major count, minor defects, minor count, defect fix rate percentage, test completion percentage, remarks or comments, final remarks. So test closure report, why it is important. First, summarize the entire testing effort. Second, provide stakeholder with insight into software quality. Third, helps in future test planning and progress improvement. And last one, act as formal documentation for project closure. So this is all about test closure report and it's important. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more videos. See you in the next one video.